Hi everyone, how's it going? Welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about the 1984 film Trancers. You can see the old VHS cover right there. Um, I'd only watched Trancers one other time before. I think I had watched it on a really bad DVD copy, but it is streaming now, and the picture quality is a lot better on some of the recent streams. So this is a B movie, low budget sci-fi movie that came out in 1984. It's a tech noir where it's inspired by Humphrey Bogart movies, the Philip Marlowe films. So there's the film noir aspects, but you also have an influence of Blade Runner on this film, and a similar storyline to the Terminator in that it involves time travel and it's kind of a love story in here, but it's a lot wackier than the Terminator, of course, and but also those tough cop movies like Dirty Harry comes to mind, and movies or Charles Bronson movies of that style. But the film stars Tim Thomerson as Jack Death, who is a detective in the 23rd century. When we start out the film, Los Angeles by that time has been flooded. The ocean covers the city for the most part, and the first scene is in a diner, a neon diner, and there's so much neon in this movie. It really gives it that great film noir look. And there's also what's called Trancers in this future, who are people that fall under mind control, I guess, and they become zombies. And the villain of the picture, his name is Martin Whistler, and he has this power over people to, make them do whatever he wants them to do. And in the first scene of the film, Jack Death, yes, that's his name, Jack Death, has a encounter with a trancer. And as the story moves on, it becomes a time travel story where we learn that the villain is sending people back in time. He is having descendants killed off of some of the law enforcement people of his time, so he is wiping out everybody who can stop him in the 23rd century by going back to the past and getting rid of their ancestors. So that's, and the time travel concept in this film, it is a novel one. It's really wacky, but the whole idea is that if you, through a serum, as they say, your consciousness can be transferred into the past, into the body of one of your direct ancestors. Okay, so that's how it works. So they want to send Jack back to stop these killings and to protect their descendants. Okay, if that makes sense, right? So he goes back into his ancestor, who's, I guess, a journalist or something, who's living a life, and it's kind of like that Quantum Leap, the TV show idea, where the main character can leap into different people's bodies, and you see the character, but you don't actually see the real person they're playing until they look in the mirror. The old Scott Bakula TV show. Similar concept, I suppose. But anyway, he ends up back in 1980s LA, and of course he's thinks it's really cool. This is the height of LA. It's not flooded. It's not this depressing dystopia that he lives in. Helen Hunt is a friend of his, I guess a girlfriend sort of, who's with, so an early role for Helen Hunt, and she's kind of into the punk rock scene, and of course he has to eventually explain everything to her, what he's there for, and they have decent chemistry, I suppose. There's a bit of an age difference there, but Helen Hunt's good in the movie. I mean, everyone's a lot of fun in this, and basically this leads to a bunch of some action scenes and some ridiculous scenes, like where there's a sequence at a mall where there's a fight with a Santa Claus who's become a trancer. That's a fun scene. And then we go to a tanning booth, and we have a fight at a tanning booth. and we have at a punk club as well, where a great scene where a fracas breaks out at the punk club, and that's a great it's a good scene. And they go to Chinatown for one instance. I don't know if that was a reference to the classic film noir Chinatown from the 70s, but yeah, just some fun scenes. The dialogue is funny, kind of goofy, funny script by. The script was written by Paul DeMeo and Danny Bilson, the team who would write the Rocketeer, the Disney film, a few years, well, early 1990s. So the script's a lot of fun, and there's some funny dialogue, and so Jack has to track down people he has to protect to make sure that basically Whistler's plans don't come to fruition. And there's also some cool gadgets he has in the film where he can freeze time for 10 seconds, and that gets him out of a few scrapes. So that's, yeah. So, like I said, the look of the film's great. It's low budget, but a lot of great nighttime scenes in LA, a lot of great neon, to look at. So it's just has that tech noir look to it that's really works well. So yeah, just some final thoughts on Trancers. So it's a fairly short movie. It's only 76 minutes, so it's a quick watch, and it's pretty easily available on streaming services right now if you want to check it out. Like I said, it's got a fun, wacky tone to it. And actually, this was a film, one of the early, I think, home video. This film was released on VHS and Laserdisc in the mid 80s, and it had that cool cover on the VHS. So this was one of the early films, I think, that got its following through home video. And of course, there would be a whole franchise, a Trancers franchise. I believe 5 sequels will be made. I've not watched any of the sequels. I'll have to check them out to see if they're any good. But yeah, if there's any fans of the Trancers franchise, I'd love to get your thoughts. Like I said, I enjoyed this first film. Just some good action scenes, a lot of good humor, and yeah, so a fun watch. So those are my thoughts on Trancers. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you later.